Come from the Deputy Minority Leader.
Order 8, Rule 4, to say to move that the motion I'm about to on the attack on Nigerian Army base in Melete, Borno State, is urgent and should be taken now. The House notes that the reports from credible news mediums, including Borno, indicated that not fewer than 118 Nigerian soldiers of the 157 Battalion were massacred by Boko Haram insurgents, who now call themselves Islamic State of West Africa, on November 18, 2018 at the village of Metele, Borno State. The House also notes that initial figures of casualties were put the death toll at 44, but as more details emerged, it is now confirmed that 118 soldiers and officers were killed together with their commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Ibrahim Sakaba, while about 150 more soldiers and officers are still missing. The House further notes that according to reports, the insurgents carted away large consignments of weapons from Medlete Army Base, which security experts say would embolden the sect, Boko Haram, and pose greater danger. The House observes that while the news of the attack and death toll continue to increase, neither the President and Commander-in-Chief, nor the Minister of Defense or the Army authorities have said anything about the report, as there's silence for more than 5 days. The House notes that the President and CEC finally broke his silence 6 days after the attack in a statement issued on his behalf. The House regrets that in the last 1 year, not fewer than 600 Nigerian soldiers have been killed by insurgents, mostly in Borno State, around the fringes of the Lake Chad region. The House recalls that on June 18, 2018, Boko Haram attacked Gajiram, Borno State, led to the death of civilians and soldiers. On July 13, 2018, Boko Haram ambushed and killed soldiers at Alagaye village near Bama, Borno State, and carted away 9 gun trucks. On July 14, 2018, Boko Haram attacked at the 81st Division Forward Brigade at Jili village in Gedam local government area of Yobe State and killed scores of soldiers. On August 30, 2018, Boko Haram attacked an army formation at Zari village, also in Borno State, killing not less than 48 soldiers, and many others are still missing, aside equipment losses. On September 8, 2018, the 82nd Division Task Force in Gudumbali, Borno State, was attacked and many soldiers were killed and equipment carted away. The House also observed that we regret that while the executive said and continued to insist that Boko Haram terrorists have been technically defeated or technically degraded, the insurgents seem to be wading even stronger and stronger day in, day out, such that they recently attacked a community just 20 kilometers from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. The House also recalls that twice in 3 years, the Commander-in-Chief gave directives to the service chiefs to permanently relocate to the Theater Command Center in Maiduguri until Boko Haram is defeated. The House regrets that with the recent happenings in the north, all the successes and gains made against Boko Haram has been reversed. The House, my prayer, sir, that this House do dedicate the whole of today's sitting to debate this issue exhaustively and propose solutions on the way forward. Also, that the House observe a minute's silence in honor of our departed fallen heroes. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Of our country are being massacred, and no direct information is coming out from the executive. Well, as far as I'm concerned, whether there's information coming out or no information coming out, this cannot be allowed to go on. We need to investigate. Last week, the Senate shut down for 1 day to observe, to commiserate with those that died. At that time, we're saying 44. Now we're having funny figures, 100 and 200, and nobody knows. And then, even in today's paper, in Daily Trust of today, they chronicled what's been happening in the past couple of months, since July. Now, if we don't rise up to the occasion, Mr. Speaker, one day, we're talking about Borno, we're talking about Northeast. These people are going to overrun the entire country. And then we'll ask ourselves, what were we doing? we need to investigate. We've appropriated monies. I wish Chairman Appropriation were here. We've appropriated large sums of monies. We've approved large sums of money in this house for purchase of equipment and payment of salaries and allowances of our soldiers. But what do we get in return? We are still under siege. In fact, it's as if the siege is growing stronger and stronger by the day. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we need to investigate what is happening. We need to come up with, like the Deputy Speaker said in the last motion, legislation that will try and stem this nip it in the bud, because as it's going now, it's as if we've emboldened Boko Haram with our own equipment. And apart from that, there's definitely something wrong in the army, which has to be looked into. Because you don't just ambush a whole battalion or a whole base. It's in a theater of war, at least the little information we have. It just doesn't happen that way. There's something wrong, and we have to look into it. It might not be something we will discuss openly with the security chiefs, but we need to engage them, and where they are not doing well, sir, in other climes, if your security chief is not doing well, you will go now, let another person try. If they cannot stay in Maiduguri and be sure of what is happening, that is why the commander-in-chief said they should relocate to Maiduguri and stay there until this thing is settled, until you drive these people out. When we were growing up, Mr. Speaker, you see a soldier coming out of the barracks, you will run. I remember a statement that was credited to the former trying to get the right word, military president of the country, General Sani Abacha, that any uprising or insurgents that lasts more than 24 hours, then the government is involved in it. Because back in those days, you dare not, no matter who you are, come out that you're doing anything like Boko Haram or this. It's crushed within minutes, and we're all living in peace. So what exactly is going on? That is what we need to find out and sort that issue out, because it's getting, by the day, it's growing, they're growing more and more and more. Now they've even changed name to Islamic State of West Africa. That shows you that they are increasing in number and probably spreading all over West Africa. So, honorable colleagues, I urge you to support this motion. I beg you to support it, especially for our brothers in the Northeast. We might think, oh, like we are from the Southeast. That is how it starts. It starts from Northeast, North Central. It has actually gotten to North Central. Before you know it, it will hit people like us in Northeast. So we are all not safe. Thank you, Mr.
So those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.